Alright, well, as many of you know, we have the Colorado movie theater massacre, and a little bit worried about that, to say the least, considering we have the weapons treaty put together by the UN that Obama said he would look at and most likely sign within the next 2 to 3 weeks. All over the radio, it's getting concerning. Not only that, but TV. We have not just politicians anymore, but people who are on the radio, obviously bought off by big banks, politicians, UN, you name it, for this gun ban. I'm not too excited about all this. The talk is that we need to have stricter gun laws. However, I live in the state of New Hampshire where the gun laws are pretty fair. They're not too strict. We're pretty free up here as far as that goes. And Vermont as well. Texas, I mean, who can top them? But our crime rates aren't that bad compared to New York City, where all the people who want guns can't get them, and the people who have the guns shouldn't have them. And guess what? Crime rates through the roof. Well, we have crime rates now going up and up and up in these states that decide to have very strict gun laws, and now we want to take the gun laws and make them worse just because the shooting. Now, I understand, I'm not trying to be cold and callous, people did die, unfortunately. This is very tragic. I feel sorry for those who lost their lives. It was senseless. It's just totally senseless act of violence, and I do not condone that in any way, shape, or form. But what I guess I'm trying to say is that if more people carry guns with them, or not too far from them, or the gun laws were, I would venture to say, in some states, freer than they are, the crime rate probably wouldn't be that bad. And I'm not going to totally say that someone would have carried a gun into a movie theater, because who expects someone's going to go nuts in a movie theater? But if they did, and several people were carrying guns that night, maybe, just maybe, they would have had a fighting chance on getting out of there alive and taking out and or neutralizing the suspect in that crime. Unfortunately, people did not. As far as I know, people didn't react. There's conflicting stories of gas canisters coming from either side of the room, which now opens it up to a conspiracy. And live on Fox, the FBI agent they were interviewing said there's a possibility there was. I mean, think about it. The guy's apartment was rigged with explosives. Somehow they knew to go in through the window because the door was rigged. Okay, so someone might say, well, they investigated, they heard this, that, or the other thing. Fine, I'll give you that. But how did they know to take the bombs out in a specific order, how to defuse them and blow them up without having them all go off? I mean, if this guy made this up and it come from his brain, and he's a studies neuroscience. He's not a bomb maker, he's not an electrician, he's not a master electrician, he doesn't specialize in explosives. He basically has a doctorate in neuroscience, and that is has many different levels to it, and one of which is studied and used by the CIA in their MK Ultra program, which is a mind control program, partially for the Manchurian Candidate. This guy was found at his car after the shooting, virtually unscathed, unbothered, in a relaxed state, which kind of seems like someone that may be under mind control, or in an altered state of some sort. Drug, maybe, who knows. A little bit bizarre that in 3 months he accumulated about 6,000 rounds of ammunition, which is fairly expensive. 2 Glocks, which even used are probably going to run you $600 a piece in fair condition. an AR-15, a shotgun, and these are not cheap toys. These are weapons that should be respected and were purchased by this gentleman in less than 3 months, on top of the riot gear and explosives. And now we're talking thousands of dollars in gear and supposed preparation for this supposed premeditated thing, this Batman premiere. Now the problem with that is, evidently this guy wasn't working, didn't have much money, had an apartment, was going to school, and somehow afforded all this. God knows where he got half of it, in particular the riot gear and all that. So there's a lot of unanswered questions that the mainstream media, dinosaur media, and the government's not delving into right now, and it begs to question as to why they might be doing that. Is there something behind it? Are there reasons why they're not discussing these things? Because the way I'm looking at it, I'm going to say yes. That's probably a good possibility. It's a little bit concerning. It's kind of weird that Alex Jones had brought up a few things in regards to this, and they better not go and try to blame this on him. And this whole extremism, homegrown terrorism thing is a crock of crap. I mean, these people are trying to make up things just so that we'll be afraid. They can take our rights away, control us totally, lead us into martial law, and just virtually watch us act like sheep. And so, I mean, if some people want to go down that path, I mean, I'm trying to wake people up to it. Don't do it. But some of these people, I'm seeing it. It's just like every day now. People look like they're brain dead, walking out there on the street, acting like complete zombies. And I'm actually concerned as to some of the actions of some of these people. Excuse me while I take a sip of my coffee. But aside from that, I mean, it's just, you never know now who's a nut and who's not. I mean, if they're going to look into these gun laws, why not go into maybe more extensive background checks, making sure the person doesn't have a huge criminal record or history of bizarre behavior, in particular psychiatric problems. I mean, other than that, I mean, this is a free country. We have a right to form a militia. We have a right to bear arms, and we shouldn't be told how many arms we can bear, how many we can put aside, how many we can collect, how much ammunition we can supposedly, what they call, stockpile. Although if you're a target shooter and you're a hunter, you go through ammunition like it's crazy, especially when you're trying to set your sights properly. So I mean, they're just really reaching when they're saying, oh, I don't know why people have to have thousands of rounds of ammunition, because I go through hundreds and hundreds of rounds a month. So I mean, it's not, you get 1,000, 2,000 rounds of ammunition, that goes fast when you're sighting in a gun and keeping them sighted in, and just keeping sharp up on your skills. But we're getting to the day and age in which we need to learn how to survive. And I mean, this kind of reminds me of when they did the White House shooting there. I kind of put mathematics together, you know, Kennedy assassination being on the 22nd, around the same part of the term where Kennedy was assassinated in like his 3rd year, I think it was, yeah. And then you get November 11th, 11/11 is 22, so Obama's in his 3rd term. He's a Democrat, some say Kennedy-esque. And it's just put 2 and 2 together. They like these math problems, these NWO, New World Order people. It's like a riddle, a game to them. And said something's going to happen. I mean, you know, I thought something was going to happen. I just had this weird feeling. I don't know. And then when it happened, I was kind of taken back and shocked at it at first, but I guess not so much. Because, I mean, after a while, you pay attention to their patterns, they get fairly predictable. And these are the things that happen. And so, in a certain sense, it's like that. They couldn't put their story together when they were talking about that gentleman either. They said that he had a job and that he had a car and he had a sniper rifle, yada yada yada. I mean, the story goes on and on. I don't have time for it now. I'll get into it at some other point about the White House shooter. But none of the story added up. Like an AK, what he was found with, supposedly, AK is not designed to be an accurate gun. It spins as it's coming out of the barrel, doing one of these maneuvers. That's why it's angled and cut at an angle at the end of an AK. And he fired it at the White House from almost a mile away, and somehow hit a window the size of a 2-liter bottle. While he was in a moving car. Where he got the car, I have no idea. Where he got the gun, I have no idea. And he never fired a gun in his life. I'd say that's a pretty good shot with an inaccurate gun from a mile away in a moving car with one arm. Just saying. But like I said, I'll go into that some other time. There's a lot of weird similarities to that issue. Again, it had to do with a gun, so gun control is the topic. And but with this other things, how did he get in the back of this movie theater? Some say he propped the door. I mean, no one noticed him propping the back door open. No one went by in hours this took place and checked the back door to see if, you know, it was open or crooked open, or no one seen him walking with these canisters. How did he get all this gear in there? I mean, a lot of questions have to be answered here before I'm happy with the story. And right now, it's looking like it wasn't just him, or if it was, maybe he had some help to some extent, or I mean, some of it's actually pointing toward this UN treaty and trying to prove a point and get gun laws passed, which we don't need. They want us to be completely defenseless, and they don't like people who can fend for themselves and survive on their own. They want to keep us helpless and afraid of everything and tell us there's terrorists everywhere. Now they're telling us we're all terrorists and we should spy on each other. That sounds like Nazi Germany. I mean, what are we coming to, people? But again, this Batman situation, as sad as it is, there's a lot of questions to be asked. I hope people keep asking them. I'll probably do another video on this. I'm interested into hearing people's feedbacks. If you get any facts and or suggestions and questions, please feel free to message me or do a video response. It's an interesting topic. I'm sure I'll make another video about this because I just don't have enough time to fit it all in one video segment. But please stay tuned. I have more videos coming, not just about the that topic, but many others, in particularly bizarre happenings with animals dropping dead, weather, climate changes, space things that are going on. Very interesting time in our lives. A lot of people aren't aware of it yet, and there's a lot of things happening and have started to happen in a very short period of time that we haven't seen before, and or hasn't happened in a long time. Keep your eyes open, folks. Things aren't always what they seem to be, and you don't want to close your eyes too long because you might miss something fairly interesting. But that's it for this video for now. Again, I will make more, in particularly on this topic, to discuss different things that I don't have time for now. And I have several other video topics coming up in regards to other things, so please stay tuned. They're coming soon. Until then, thank you.